Today, there are significant updates from the Kursk direction. Elite Ukrainian brigades decimated a joint Russian-North Korean assault force near Malaya Loknya, losing 15 armored vehicles and throwing North Korean soldiers into the meat grinder. After over a month of preparations, the Russians initiated a new wave of counterattacks to recapture Malaya Loknya from two axes of advance, with the engagement of North Koreans. However, Ukrainians took advantage of the operational pause, enabling them to fully prepare some of their most elite units to face the Russian assaults. The Russian plan in the Kursk area was to advance 4 kilometers along a paved road toward Malaya Loknya, aiming for the town near the settlement of Pogrebki. A second route was planned to the west of Malaya Loknya, advancing via the road from Novoivanovka. Gaining control of Malaya Loknya would allow the Russians to cut off Ukrainian forces positioned north of the town and secure a large northern area, thereby extending their counter-offensive southward towards Sudzha. Some of Ukraine's most elite and experienced units, including the 47th Mechanized Brigade, 82nd Airmobile Brigade, 17th Mechanized Brigade, and 80th Airmobile Brigade, were tasked with defending this area. Given these units' expertise and strong leadership, they anticipated repeated large-scale Russian mechanized assaults along the paved roads to Malaya Loknya. Recognizing that the Russians could only attack from 2 directions due to the limited road access, Ukrainian commanders prepared by deploying substantial drone units and implementing remote mining along these roads to counter the assault. As anticipated, the Russians launched a major assault north of Pogrebki along the road to Malaya Loknya, deploying around 15 BTRs and over 150 soldiers from the Russian 810th Marine Brigade, reportedly with North Korean troops. The assault hit landmines immediately, wiping out the first 3 vehicles and an entire platoon before reaching Ukrainian-controlled areas. By the time Russian forces entered Pogrebki, 5 of the 15 BTRs had already been destroyed by landmines alone. At the same time, Ukrainians then destroyed 9 more BTRs around Pogrebki using a combination of drones, landmines, and RPGs, forcing a desperate Russian retreat. But only 1 BTR managed to reach the rear but was soon eliminated, marking the total destruction of the Russian column. Published footage by the Ukrainian troops from the area reveals that North Korean Type 73 machine guns were discovered scattered around the eliminated column. This implies the gradual inclusion of North Korean soldiers in Russian storming operations, as their numbers of deployed fighters are slowly growing in Kursk. Anticipating a coordinated Russian assault from Novoivanovka to align with the attack toward Pogrebki, Ukrainians deployed tanks from the 17th Mechanized Brigade to disrupt Russian force concentrations preparing for the offensive. Combat footage shows Ukrainian tanks conducting a raid on Russian positions in nearby forests. After effectively neutralizing these assault forces and eliminating the threat, the Ukrainian tanks withdrew without incurring any losses. Overall, the Russians launched their largest assault in the direction of Malaya Loknya in hopes of repeating the success of their previous operations in Kursk, but failed as their entire assault units were wiped out. As the intensity of Russian attacks in Kursk is growing with a relatively low number of troops for broader offensive operations, they are hurrying to include North Korean troops in their further offensive efforts, however, with disastrous efficiency so far. On the other hand, a video posted online purportedly shows 2 M2 Bradley infantry fighting vehicles of Ukraine's 47th Mechanized Brigade launching a bold assault on a Russian defensive position while enduring sustained enemy fire in a recent operation near the Kursk region of Russia. In the video, posted to Telegram and reposted on X, it is claimed that Ukraine forces used Bradleys to mow down a Russian tree line, survive grenade launcher and FPV drones hits, and successfully disengage, preserving their vehicles and experienced crews as reported by X account at War Translated. As previously reported by local Ukrainian media, the U.S. has sent more than 300 Bradleys to Ukraine, plus 4 support vehicles, according to Pentagon documents. Kyiv's 47th Mechanized Brigade, which has been fighting in the east of the country, has been the sole known operator of the IFVs, as well as US M1 Abrams main battle tanks. According to the Associated Press, the Bradley is a medium-armored combat vehicle that can serve as a troop carrier, and it has tracks rather than wheels. But the vehicle is lighter and more agile than a tank. While Bradleys, it can carry about 10 personnel, or be configured instead to carry additional ammunition or communications equipment. The Bradleys seemingly demonstrated their resilience in the assault shown in the video, withstanding a direct hit from grenade launcher strikes and from FPV drones, before successfully retreating without reported critical damage or loss of personnel. A commander with the 47th Mechanized Brigade told Media Ukraine in January 2024 that Russian soldiers were afraid to launch operations when they know that a Bradley will be against them. As Ukrainian forces continue to fight in contested areas, they are increasingly using Bradleys as a versatile, high survivability asset. And in this alleged mission, the Bradleys were deployed to dismantle Russian positions embedded within a forested area. Utilizing the IFV's firepower, the brigade's maneuver appeared to breach the tree line, disabling Russian positions and suppressing infantry with the Bradley's 25mm M2-42 Bushmaster chain guns. During the engagement, Russian forces are reported to have responded with intense counterfire, including multiple grenade launcher rounds aimed directly at the IFVs, as well as several FPV drone strikes targeting the Ukrainian vehicle's flanks. Russian forces attacking in the Kursk sector have suffered eviscerating losses against Ukrainian defenses, fighting back with attack drone swarms that hunt down individual Russian soldiers and vehicles. The 47th Mechanized Brigade's reported success in Kursk would seem to demonstrate the strategic value of the Bradley IFVs on the front lines.